whole day in the office. Way too much. Way too much.
Svetlana, the firefly in the room.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am really excited to chat with you about some of the plants that I just could not keep out of my head, out of my eyesight. I just need to check on them every single day and just, appreciate how beautiful they are, how fun they are to grow, and just see how they're growing and, just doing their thing while being in my home. Oh my gosh, this is the best. And also at the same time, I want to share two completely new plants to my collection that I received last week. My fiance actually, long story short, there is this local houseplant store that from time to time brings pretty awesome houseplants, and you know what, I drool over them every single time, but since we are on a budget, I do not go there often because it's like a guilty pleasure for me. If I go there, I know I won't come back home empty-handed. So I saw a couple of these plants on their Instagram stories and I showed it to my fiance, like, look at this, I've never seen such plant in person, they look so cool in pictures, and you know what, they probably will go to my wish list, and that's about it. So what my fiance did, he on his lunch break went all the way to this houseplant store and bought both of these plants for myself as a surprise. What can I say? Goals. Anyway, today I want to share with you 5 plants that during this couple last weeks, so I'm not even sure how should I call this video. Is it August favorites or is it September favorites? Because it's like in between. But these plants are something that I just catch myself drooling over a lot, and I just want to share them with you. So it was extremely difficult to pick only 5 plants, especially when the 2 of them were already obvious since they're new in my collection. So let's probably start from these new plants and then we'll go to the others that still, even though they're not completely new in my collection, I mean most of them are, but still I still love them so much, and I'm happy. Anyway, let's start from this cool plant that is here in the frame. I mean, you in the frame can see one singular leaf. I am talking about this gorgeous Maranta, and oh my gosh, right now it's dancing like crazy, but here's probably a better angle. So this is Maranta light veins, and I've never seen this plant in person before, but if you look close enough into the older leaves, just look at these veins. Isn't that insane? I mean, fresh leaves do not have that, strong veining going on yet, but if you look into the older ones, the leaves are so beautiful. I mean, wow. Even during the evening, when I turn on some kind of lights around it, it just looks like it's glowing, it's such a beautiful plant. And I'm not a big prayer plant or Maranta plant girl, Most of them ends up dying in my collection, so this time I feel like this is like such a big responsibility for me, and I need to go with it somehow, so any tips are welcome, but I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing. I have another variegated Maranta leuconera over here, and it seems like with this one I did a pretty good job, except last month when I forgot to water it once and it's half of the leaves dried out on me, but you live and you learn. So anyway, so this is the newest plant in my collection. It actually has a sister I'll show you in a bit. But look at those leaves, and I am actually astonished at how big it already is. I mean, I am so used to buy, more uncommon plants. I mean, for you maybe it's not that uncommon, but for me personally, living here in Lithuania, in Eastern Europe, it's something I've never seen before, so I count it as rare, And it's beautiful, it's so beautiful. I'm really excited to grow it in my collection. I already prepared this beautiful terracotta pot from my grandma to it. Right now it's in simple, classic plain plastic pot. I have no idea why it's spraying right now, because all of the leaves are up, even though it's the middle of the day right now. But gorgeous plant, isn't it? Oh my gosh, I love him so much. Since we're still talking about newest plants, let's talk about another plant from the same store, and it won't be the last plant from the store, but I also was drooling over another Maranta, another one that actually the shop staff said to my fiance. Actually, he was going to only buy me this Maranta because that was a little bit more cool in my opinion when I saw the pics, but my fiance was, already prepared to pay for it. And then the lady takes this plant out of the bag and says, well, maybe you want that one as well. This one actually came to the store by accident. Nobody ordered it, but it turned out to be a pretty cool accident because the staff lady herself wanted to buy it, and actually my fiance bought the last one. They had only two in the store and one of them is in my collection right now, and I just really love such kind of, surprises slash accidents, and especially when one of them ends up in my home. And I'm talking about, I am pretty sure these are not scientific names for Marantas, but they're pretty cool ones, so let's just call them that way for now until I do more research. This one specifically also has a pretty fun name, which is called Maranta Cat's Mustache. Classic. Isn't that the coolest name for a plant ever? And I actually can see why it has this name. Here is this gorgeous baby. It's actually, both of these plants were 25 euros each. Right now, during the life going on in the world, euros and dollars, I mean US dollars, are pretty much the same level, so it's like 25 bucks, something around that, So this one has actually a lot bigger leaves, like twice bigger leaves, especially the old ones, and I just love how different the colors on this one is. I mean, look at this leaf. Isn't that beautiful? It's like something a little bit different. I mean, I love how neonish. For me specifically, it looks like a fish bone, when there's a spine in the fish and there's lots of small bones. This looks specifically like this, and especially I love how neony it looks. And once again, when the light hits a little bit different and it's a little bit darker in home, the veins strikes even more. And this specific Maranta has beautiful, pretty classic for Marantas purple underneath that makes it even more beautiful. This one has simple green ones. This one has a little shebang in the other side, and once again, very beautiful plant. I love that they have so many differences at the same time, but also so many similarities, and they actually stands next to my another variegated Maranta, and three of them are dancing every evening for me, and I just love to watch this dance, to be honest. So nothing too much to say about it, only that I love it. I love that it's already pushing out new leaves for me. Like, yes queen, do it, oh my gosh, I'm really excited. So really beautiful. This one actually has a little bit more velvety touch to it, and I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera, but they are so velvety, like some kind of anthuriums, when, for example, in comparison, these leaves are a little bit more Marantish and they're more like Calatheas, I mean, there are more Calatheas that are velvety as well, but I hope you understand what the heck I'm talking about. Since we're still talking about velvety leaves, let me show you another one that is also really new in my collection, and I'm talking about Syngonium. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. Damn it, I will leave the names on the screen, obviously. Oh my gosh, it just stuck somewhere in my brain. But anywho, isn't that a beautiful Syngonium? You actually saw it in my previous video, and I know that it's like, showing the same plants over and over again, but I mean, it was only one video before, and I feel like this one deserves so much more love because I've been eyeballing this plant in the internet for a couple months now, and I just never, I never did it, but right now I'm so glad I was able to swap it in the houseplant swap I attended this weekend. If you haven't seen this video, it's over here. It was so much fun. But anywho, so very beautiful plant. I love how velvety the leaves are. This deep dark green is so velvety and beautiful, and that striking vein in the middle is just something so cool. It's already unfurling the new leaf for me, so I feel actually two leaves, so in this pot there are two babies. And yes, they're still not very big, but once again, all of these plants I am showing in this today's haul need to be reported, so stay tuned for the report. Actually, a fun thing about this one, this is a plant that I exchanged with another plant person, right? And this is the first time I see that in the holes, when I was checking for the roots, there is actually looks like the pot is laid with some kind of plastic, so the roots are not able to, peek through, which is a little bit odd because at the same time there won't be, such a good drainage. So I really am in a hurry to repot this one because the soil itself looks like it loves to collect moisture, which is, for Syngoniums it's not that bad, but at the same time, we don't need that, We don't need that stress for this plant. Anyway, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? So let me put this aside. Another plant I want to talk with you about is actually Euphorbia. It looks like a cacti. It's standing next to me and it makes me so proud. I am so happy about it. This is actually a plant that I unboxed roughly a couple months ago, I think. Maybe even more. I think it was maybe for my birthday. Don't quote me on that, not sure, but it's been in my collection for like whole summer for sure. I think, oh my gosh, yeah, I think whole summer. And you know what? It was not growing for me and I was a little bit worried because, it looks like the summertime is a perfect time to grow, especially for variegated cacti / Euphorbia, right? And I thought I was doing something wrong, so it is standing in my balcony in north-facing window, so it receives all of the sun from the very early morning till like noon, and then it's just stands in bright and direct light, and I thought it's like perfect, it's not too hot, it won't burn, it receives lots of beautiful wind from the windows and all of that. Still wasn't too happy. So what I decided to do, actually, I started to water it a little bit more often. So instead of watering it together with all of my cacti, I decided to water it a little bit, like I water all of my cacti during summer like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, something around that, and this one I water every 10 days. Something like that. And you know what? The moment I started to water it a little bit more often, couple weeks later it started to push out new growth for me. Don't quote me on this once again, but this is something I found that is working. Maybe just a coincidence, nobody knows, nobody cares. Anyway, so this is Euphorbia that actually grew this much during 2 weeks period. 2 weeks period this much. So it's heavy. Okay, let me show you a little bit closer. So if you will be able to notice that the top of this cactus is actually really light and bright green, so it shows that it's a new growth. It actually also has these not only spikes, but between each spike there is like beautiful tiny leaf, variegated leaf, which is so cute. So let me show it up close. Can you see that? Can you see that the top of it, like so, is completely brighter and greener? This is a sign of a new growth. Also, there are new leaves on it. I poked myself. So, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if you can see it. It's actually extremely heavy. Workout. But yeah, so this is just a plant that, was not doing anything throughout all of the summer, and I was a little bit disappointed. It's already decent size, don't get me wrong, I love it, beautiful, gorgeous, right? But whenever they start growing, it's just completely different vibe, isn't it? Let's talk about the last plant that is actually, it's also pretty much new in my collection. I have it for maybe 3 weeks right now, maybe about a month, but not longer. And this is something that I just catch myself, eyeballing every single day. And I'm talking about a plant you can see in my background. Actually, I replaced a little bit of the plants in my background, so right now you can see a Philodendron, a fry deck over here, right? So I hope you like the way it looks, right? But anywho, actually, a little shout out before we go into that plant. I have this cute Peperomia in this cauldron shaped dish. It is a real cauldron, I thrifted it, and I thought that this paella will look perfectly like, the bubbles are just, running over from the pot, like a witch is making a brew and the bubbles are just bubbling out of this cauldron. At least I can see that with my imagination. I'm not sure with yours, but try, I think it's pretty possible, right? But anyway, what I really enjoy about it, that it is such a fast grower, but what is really cool about it, that it started blooming for me, and I've never seen such tiny blooms. I'm not sure if the camera will be able to pick it, I think it can, But look at all of those. And these ones are not one singular blooms. These are like Hoya blooms. So in each of these are about 10, maybe even tinier blooms. How cute is that? So these blooms are growing all over this plant, and they just show me how happy it is. Actually, I'm a little bit doubtful because I wanted to repot it, because it has lots of roots peeking out of the pot, and it's still in the same nursery pot I bought it in, but then it won't fit into this cauldron. So you know, I'm like making this sacrifice as for now and just keep it in this same pot. But oh my gosh, isn't that pretty? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Oh, gorgeous, for sure gorgeous. By the way, have you seen my newest Friday clip? Oh, so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so difficult to talk only about 5 plants in one video. Don't get me started on that. Alright, and the last one I wanted to chat with you about is this beautiful hybrid. I mean, look at the shape of these leaves. I mean, the shape itself is just speaking to me so much. I was drooling over this cool looking philodendrons for so many years right now. I think at least 3 years in other people's YouTube channels, because probably if you've been longer on my channel, you notice that I am a girl on a budget and I do not spend a lot of money on plants. I mean, in last maybe 4 months period, I probably bought like 5 plants, the most. So I'm trying to stay mindful about my, surroundings. I'm just trying to fit in my 2-room apartment in here with all of my plants. But anyway, this was a really nice exception because I just could not pass it. And this is a Philodendron billeti and Atopapoense hybrid, and it's so beautiful, so gorgeous. It actually is not growing anything, so the same way I got it, it still is the same. I mean, the good sign is that all of the leaves are still in great shape, no yellowing, no anything, so it means like probably this plant just needs a little bit more time to adapt to my home, but at the same time already existing leaves are just making me extremely happy. I really love this shape. This is like one of my favorite shapes on any kind of plant, hands down. And I know there are so many, heart-shaped leaves lovers and all of that, but I don't know why, but this large long leaf with these beautiful ears, just yes, yes, yes. So actually most of these plants except this Euphorbia needs a repotting, so soon, I think maybe this weekend, I will be filming a repot with me video. And I know I've been doing a Q&A not that long ago, but maybe you have any kind of questions you want to ask me, go ahead and leave them in today's video's comments and I'll be able, to manage to go there. I think I remember from my previous couple of videos I was talking about my tattoo story. So I have this tattoo that I made together with my fiance. I mean, I painted it in my school notebook and then went to the tattoo salon to get it together with my fiance. I mean, then he wasn't my fiance, I knew him for only 3 months. So I think I will be able to tell you the whole story, how I made this tattoo with how I got this tattoo, and how half a year later I finally, got the balls to tell about it to my parents. It was a whole ride. So I think I'll be telling this story during the report, but maybe also have any more questions. So just putting it out there, no pressure or anything, but just maybe you want to ask me anything. And lastly, actually, I am such in big doubt right now because in 2 weeks from today, so not this weekend but the next weekend, there will be another houseplant swap here in Lithuania. But the biggest problem is that it will be in completely different side of my country. Even though I filmed one plant swap video here in Vilnius, in my city, it was so much fun, and right now I am so tempted to go to this, to this another corner of Lithuania to see plant lovers out there. I actually haven't been in the city for a couple of years right now, so oh my gosh, I'm so, I'm just fighting myself, and I want to know if you want to see more plant swap videos, because at the same time it will be an investment, because it's a pretty long trip. If I would take a train ride. It would take me about 4.5 hours to go to one site, and it's on Sunday, so I need to come back home at the same very day. So I would go there, be there for a couple hours, and go back for 4.5 hours. So, you know, just let me know if this is something you would want to see, because I'm really tempted, but at the same time I'm on a budget and I'm not sure. I'm just not sure, you know? Anyway, oh my gosh, this is such a rambly video. I'm sorry, but I still hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what do you think about my plant choices. Obviously, there are so many more plants that makes me extremely happy. For example, this burl marks just keeps on growing, and I'm not that worried that it does not give me any variegation. Hello, variegation? Still pretty happy, beautiful plant, and I love him. I mean, there are so many more, but we still have so many future videos to talk about them, right? So subscribe to my channel if you want to see more planty content from my channel and do not miss any. Also, comment questions, your thoughts about my picks, and maybe how your day went, right? Let's chat in the comments, like this video if you enjoyed it, and before leaving you, let me teach you another language lesson. Since we had a cat mustache, Maranta, let me teach you how to say cat in Russian, in Lithuanian, and in Polish. So, if you want to say cat in Lithuanian, you need to say katinas. Once again, katinas. This is like the male. Female would be katė. Once again, katė. And if you want to say cat in Russian, you need to say koshka for female, koshka for female. And for male, kot. Once again, kot. And if you want to say cat in Polish, you need to say once again, kot. So it's pretty much the same as in Russian this time. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye.